Good afternoon in New York. Good evening in Iraq. In Pakistan, it's good night in Pakistan. Good day or night or morning for all of you who are joining us from all corners of the world. I'm Yael Danieli, founder and executive director of the International Center for Multi-Generational Legacies of Trauma, ICMGLT for short. Thank you for joining our webinar on the very important topic of intergenerational education under any and all difficult circumstances. Today's International Center for Multi-Generational Legacies of Trauma is held in advance of the International Day of Education, observed annually on January 24th. In 2025, this year that we have just begun, the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, or UNESCO, underscores education as a tool to address and prevent many of the challenges facing the world today, from democratic erosion and escalating climate change to persisting inequalities, growing discrimination, hate speech, conflict, and violence. It highlights the transformative process of learning, which enables learners to gain essential knowledge, values, attitudes, skills, and behaviors, empowering learners to serve as a catalyst for peace and progress in their communities. Education is a human right, a public good, and a public responsibility. Education offers children a ladder out of poverty and a path to a promising future. But about 244 million children and adolescents around the world are out of school. 617 million children and adolescents cannot read and do basic math. Less than 40% of girls in sub-Saharan Africa complete lower secondary school, and some 4 million children and youth refugees are out of school. The right to education is being violated, and it is unacceptable. It is true that without inclusive and equitable quality education and lifelong opportunities for all, countries will not succeed in achieving gender equality and breaking the cycle of poverty that is leaving millions of children, youth, and adults behind. But today, we focus on these difficult circumstances. Today's brave international panelists will review the role of education in particularly challenging times in their lives: ISIS in Iraq against the Yazidis, Taliban in Afghanistan, and share creative initiatives developed to resist limitations, knowing that education is a key to empowerment, equality, peace, and healthy development of future generations. I, your moderator, am a clinical psychologist, traumatologist, victimologist, and psychohistorian. I have devoted much of my career to studying, treating, teaching, writing about, and preventing lifelong and multi-generational impacts of massive trauma worldwide, to ensuring victims' rights, the rights of future generations, and to reparative justice. I would like to apologize because while we have our beloved Saman, our English Arabic translator, we have not managed to find a Farsi, simultaneous English Farsi translator, even though we tried and tried all over the world. But we promised the Farsi speaking members of the audience that we will have it in writing on the website after when the recording of the webinar will appear. Thank you for understanding and for your patience. Today's first presenter is Basma Sulaiman, a Yazidi from Sinjar, holds an English language degree from the Catholic University of Erbil in Iraq. With over 3 years of experience in education and humanitarian, passionate about empowering marginalized groups, Basma strives to promote access to quality education, foster resilience, and drive sustainable change. Second is Suraya Muhammadi, a 17-year-old peace activist and women's rights advocate from Afghanistan. Suraya currently resides in Pakistan. As co-founder of the Hamed Delhi Educational and Cultural Association, she promotes human rights, peace, education, and empowerment for Afghan girls and women. A passionate speaker and writer, narrating Afghan girls' stories on esteemed international platforms. The Week of Prayer for the World Peace awarded her Wilson Hinks Peace Award for her role in the Peace Gate Project. Our third speaker today is Hatima Fayaz. A refugee in Quetta, Pakistan, Hatima earned her bachelor degree in the field of computer science in Kabul, Afghanistan. Currently, she's leading the MER group and a literacy school with 360 students. Hatima is a peace activist who is playing the peace game by 2030. She is committed to empowering women and women's leadership in the world. Last today is Mahbouba Fayaz, a 2018 high school graduate with honors, already then passionate about learning as empowerment amidst challenging times. Mahbouba fled to Afghanistan when the Taliban seized control of Kabul. Undeterred, she co-leads free literacy and leadership training to those 360 women, transforming lives and fostering resilience. A peace activist, she champions equality, envisioning the future where all girls access education, turn obstacles into opportunities, and empower communities to overcome adversity. We have an hour and a half for the webinar. Each of our panelists will speak for about 8 minutes. Following an interchange among us, I will open the floor to questions and brief comments from the virtual audience, you. We will then conclude with last words. Please use the Q&A or chat functions, and we will do our best to respond to as many questions and brief comments as we can. Feel free to direct your question to a particular panelist or to the full panel. I now have the pleasure to offer the screen to Basma. My dear Basma, the screen or the floor is yours.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Well, this is Basma. I'm Yazidi from Sinjar, Iraq. It is an honor. It's an honor to be here with you today to discuss a topic that deeply resonates with me: education for the Yazidi community and its transformative role in our recovery. First, I'm from Sinjar. For those who don't know where is Sinjar and who are Yazidis, I would like to share a brief description about Sinjar district and the Yazidi community. Well, Sinjar is a historic region in northern Iraq, part of Nineveh Governorate, home to the Yazidi community, an ancient ethno-religious minority with a rich cultural heritage. The Yazidi have deep spiritual and historical ties to Sinjar, which has been our homeland for centuries. And in 2014, the Yazidi community faced a horrific genocide at the hands of ISIS, leading to mass killings, displacement, and unimaginable suffering. In 2014, the Yazidi community looked very different. As many know, that 2014 was the year of destruction for the Yazidi community. People had no idea what was happening. All families were in the streets, and people were going in all directions trying to escape from war. Only few families could have a car and escape with. Many walked to the mountain, many walked to Syria, and even many more didn't escape. So I can share some numbers of what ISIS did to the Yazidi community. ISIS kidnapped 6,400 Yazidis and killed 5,000 Yazidis. So far, 3,500 Yazidis have survived, and 2,800 women, children, and men are still missing. Since 2014 till now, 140,000 Yazidis migrated outside Iraq. So, as a teacher, I have seen how education can transform lives, rebuild hope, and help us recover as a community. Today, I want to talk about our challenges, the importance of education, and why it's crucial and critical for our future and for women. So let me share my presentation and share more details. Well,
take your time. Wonderful here.
Okay.
Yes, it's excellent.
All right, here we are.
Yes, yes.
So, education in Iraq and the Yazidi community. Here, with the Yazidi community, we mean by education is a healing and empowerment tool, especially after the genocide. Okay. Okay. Education, yeah, it's for sure that after each war or conflict, genocide, whatever you call it, education is always playing a crucial role, and it is a cornerstone for societal and rebuilding and individual empowerment. So this presentation explores the importance of education, challenges faced by students, teachers, and the unique role of education for women in particular. Education as a tool for healing and empowerment. Yeah, since I've mentioned that, Yazidis have been displaced, and thousands of Yazidis were displaced in tents, in camps, in Kurdistan region. They were divided into around 15 camps. So here it was something very important to open the doors of schools for the people who were living inside the camps. And here we can say, like, for the Yazidi community, it was very helpful to open schools because it helps to rebuild identity and foster a sense of normalcy among children who were affected by trauma. The path ahead, well, for the Yazidi community, it is very important, and not just for the Yazidi community, in all other communities. The local and international stakeholders' role is very, like, it has a big effort in helping those who were like who were implemented of trauma, and educating them, like empowering them to recover. And especially here, women and girls have a great role that they should be supported and empowered, because it was not even easy for how on what they have faced, what they have went through, and what they have seen. It was a very challenging and traumatic situations. So here it's very important, when you educate a woman, that means you educate the whole community. Women should be aware and should be empowered of the life challenges they face every day. Well, the importance of girl education. Educating girls is especially important. It's not just about giving them knowledge, it's about giving them a voice. What we mean by this, here, like, so many women and girls in the Yazidi community, in the Iraqi country, they are not aware of their rights. They are not aware of any laws that support them. So they should be educated, respect. They can escape from a lot of practices, harmful practices in communities. So when we educate a woman, that means we advocate, she can advocate for change, not just for herself, but for future generations. For example, I can mention a lot of stories of women who were not educated or what they have faced. For example, in Iraqi country and in the Yazidi community, as in particular, they see women weak. Since the country is a male-dominated country or community, so they always see women and girls weak. They always see them that they should be protected by someone, by a man, a male, and they always see them like they cannot understand life well. So here, why they should be educated? For those reasons. In a lot of situations, in places, workplaces, school, university, whatever, wherever, when a woman is educated, she knows how to act. She knows how to deal with life, with any situation she faces. For example, before 2014, in our community, if a girl wanted to go to school or university, I know thousands of families will not allow their girls to go for university because it's far, because they are afraid they will be harmed. The family, the parents are afraid that their daughter will do something wrong if she go to the university, if she attended the school. And when At the time of our ancestors, it was never allowed to girls and women in our community to go to school because they see it as a wrong thing, they see it as a sin, and if a woman get educated, it is something that it's something very wrong in the community. But now after 2014, it changed. I know so many families, their daughter have finished school, but they didn't allow her to go to university because it was somewhere else, not in the region. So after 2014, now I'm sure thousands of parents are paying for their daughter to go and get a good education, to go abroad and study. They are very supportive. So we can see the rule, how it changes before 2014 and after the genocide we faced. Now, like most of the Yazidi community are aware of the importance of education in the community. What does it mean if your daughter is educated? That means she has a voice, she can protect herself, she can fight for her rights. Well, after so many conflicts and war, it is something normal that in any country when there is war, everything is changed, everything is destroyed. So the Iraqi education system has faced significant challenges due to historical events and inequalities that persist today after war. Well, the Iraqi education system established in 2020th century initially aimed for universal access, and it has suffered for decades due to war and instability. That means the quality education and infrastructure that affected the quality education and infrastructure in general. And it has significantly impacted the learning opportunities for children. It leads, like after the war, so many schools were destroyed. People were moving to another country, another city. So it changed the whole educational system in Iraq, and that has affected deeply and very big in the quality of education in the Iraqi context. In displacement due to the effects of displacement on education. For sure, after the Yazidi genocide, so many children lost years of education because of the displacement. They were living in tents. Maybe at the first there were no schools, and also after that because of so many other effects, so many other things. People were not able to go to school, and one of the big reasons that so many families, they were missing some members of the family. So how can you imagine someone can go in life, can continue his or her life when the mother is missing, the father is missing, the brother is missing? How they can go and get good education when they are maybe the only one who survived from a family? How they can continue and get education or go back to school and go back to life when they are the older one, when they are the responsible of the family and they are still young. And also it was very difficult for thousands of people to get education, to go back to school, because they were living in displacement tents, and it was hard for them even to study in a camp, inside the camp. And also because of there are some other reasons that are related to schools. I will mention that later, but if we come to the reality, I was one of those. I lived in Sharia camp in the Hook for 7 years. Me and my family, we were 8 members, having only 2 tents. Each tent is 4 meters. So imagine 6 adults 6 siblings, living in one tent with all our stuff, bed, clothes, books, and we are all adults. It was really hard for a family like mine to have only 2 tents for the whole family to study, to eat, to sleep. Like everything was inside that tent, which was only 4 meters square. And tents were very close from each. That like if my neighbors are like discussing something, I can hear them. So that was one of the reasons that so many times I was unable to focus on my studies because of the noise around me. So in this tent, I'm hearing children crying. In the other one, I'm hearing that people are talking. In the other one, someone is studying. Listening, like I'm hearing music, whatever. But it's so many challenges. People are still, for 10 years and more, people are still having the same challenges inside camps. So these are a lot of these are barriers that can affect people, and people cannot continue in life or studies there. And another reason is that
Basma dear, could you take just 2 more minutes, because
yes,
we have other amazing women to speak.
Yes, sure. Yes, all right. Okay. And after 2014, at the beginning, there were no schools, but at the beginning of 2015, and after that, 2015, 2016, they opened temporary schools inside the camps. They were only tents, and I was one of those students. We used to go to school. They just bring big tents for us without seats, box, bags, whiteboards, all this. And that was really hard, but year by year, month by year, they used to make tents bigger. So there were only 3 tents for hundreds of students to go to them. And we had only few teachers. The tents were overcrowded, and there were no teachers, sufficient infrastructure, and even books. That was the beginning. Then it improved year by year, and now all these schools inside the camps are now buildings. First, they turned from tents to caravans, then to buildings. Then now the infrastructure is good, but still the educational system is very weak in Iraq as a general. And also, we don't have sufficient materials for the schools. Yeah, and here, of course, schools serve as safe places for healing after the genocide, because if it wasn't of schools and organizations, courses, whatever they have supported, they have given a big support to the Yazidi community, to the children inside the camps, that help them to develop more and help them to coping with mechanism and foster emotional resilience essential for their recovery, and help them to develop in the future, and how they can recover from the trauma they face. Nowadays, so many Yazidis inside the camps, they accept PTSD, anxiety, grief due to the traumatic experience of genocide. And yeah, what I've mentioned, it affects a lot. And I can still mention difficulties, but hopefully I can get a chance again to speak about this. But of course, despite all these barriers, Yazidi children and youth are incredibly resilient. They are determined to learn and grow, even in the most difficult circumstances. Yeah, after the genocide, the Yazidi community faced unimaginable loss, not just of loved ones, but of homes, livelihoods, and opportunities. that education became one of the few pathways to recovery. And it's a critical vehicle for recovery and progression in the Yazidi community. Yeah, and I can mention the stories of so many Yazidis who have shown remarkable resilience. They have achieved scholarships, recognition for their academics, and my sister is one of these examples. She got scholarship and now she's studying in US. And from like not able to study inside the tent, now she is getting higher education in the US, and is a very notable, remarkable for her community and fighting for the Yazidi community. The role of NGOs and the collaboration between Yazidi families and local communities and NGOs, of course, it facilitates educational access and quality improvements. They are advocating for rights, raising awareness between the families and girls and the whole community inside the camps and also outside in the villages. So the NGOs play a crucial role in this side, of course. Yeah. In the conclusion, for the Yazidi community, education transcends mere knowledge acquisition. It represents a path to healing, empowerment, and cultural preservation. Thank you so much for listening to my story, and I can give the way to my colleagues. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Basma, for the comprehensiveness of your presentation, even though it was very too long. So we will keep working on learning how to say things in a concise way, even though, just to let the audience know, these are all success stories. These 4 women are success stories. And I'm so absolutely happy to be with them. And I hope the audience feels as delighted as I do. Actually, if you put all of their ages together, they are younger than I am. And here they are teaching the world how to work even under terribly difficult conditions, and how to heal while the wounds are being inflicted. So we talk a lot more about that. So thank you, Basma, for giving actually the comprehensive picture and for reminding us, which goes to Soraya's presentation, reminding us that the political picture has a lot to do with whether one gets educated, particularly when one is a girl. Right? So, Soraya, the floor is yours. Please unmute. I can't wait to hear you.
So, hello everyone, dear estimated guests.
You sound far away. Can you adjust the sound?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dear estimated guests, colleagues, and participants, this is truly an honor to speak before you today. I want to express my sincere gratitude for your presence and engagement in this important discussion. This is Miss Raya Mohammadi, an Afghan girl who right now lives in Quetta, Pakistan. A 17-year-old girl who lives 3 years under the rules of the Taliban, and recently almost 3 weeks that I'm living as a refugee in Quetta, Pakistan. And today I'm so thankful from Dr. Yale for giving us this opportunity to share our own story, the real story of Afghan girls that they live under the rules of the Taliban. And today I'm here to, as their determination, and as well I'm going to share with you. So to start with, I'm also mentioning this, that I'm the survivor of 3 big explosions in my school that happened in 2021 on May, and Said al-Shahada High School. And I was in 8th grade, and that I lost, and 12 years old, that I lost my friends in front of my eyes. You know, for a child, it's very somehow very bad to see this happening, that I see that on my explosion. I saw my friends that burned in front of my eyes. And my friends that I lost them, almost 100 and 200 of my friends and classmates killed and injured on that explosion. And I saw a body without its hair. I saw one of my friends that lost his arm and his leg. And it was, for me as a child, was one of my bad experiences that I had. But I swear on that day to myself and to my friends that they are not with me right now. I said that I'm not going to stop, and I'm going to do anything that I can do that I should stop this. What was their crime that they just killed and injured? It was this that they were girls and they were just wanted to continue their education, and because of that they just killed. And after the fall of Afghanistan to the Taliban on 5th of August, everything just changed. It just got worse. And the big change that shocked everyone was that the first thing the Taliban they just did when they took the power, they banned the doors of school, universities to the girls. After the 7th grade, they are not allowed to join the schools or attend the schools. And this is almost 4 years that 2.5 million Afghan girls, they are deprived of getting education. They are deprived of continuing their lessons. And it is 1,200 days that we are not allowed to attend school. You know, when I'm talking about 1,200 days, it was my baddest days that I just experienced it. Right now, I should be in school. I should join the university, but just because I'm a girl, I don't have this right. And this is just gives me the pain. As I said, I just lived 3 years in the Kabul under the rules of the Taliban. Today, I'm here to share with you what's happening in Afghanistan for girls and women. What is the real situation? And this is the situation. The situation is like this, that being a girl in Afghanistan itself, it's a crime. It's a challenge. And if you live under the rules of the Taliban, it's somehow difficult for you. You know, in Afghanistan, you don't have the right to wear what you want to do. You don't have the right to just think about your future, to decide about your future. Everything is banned for girls. And they just, recently they just announced that girls and women, they should not speak in public. Because of what? Just they are as a girl. And women that they just work in government right now, they are jobless in their home. And they are not allowed to work outside just because of their gender. And this shows how the situation is bad in Afghanistan. You know, when I was in Kabul, I was not thinking just even one day I'm safe. When I just wanted to go outside, I couldn't get outside without my brother or my father, because the Taliban say that girls and women, they are not allowed to go outside without a man. This shows how the situation is bad for girls and women. And you don't even, you know, Taliban say that girls and women, they don't need that they should join the park. I'm talking about it. So this is the situation of Afghanistan. This is the situation of that Afghan girls, they are facing right now. Why? Why it's happening in Afghanistan? Just because they are girls. This is their crime. And I am here today representing millions of girls that right now they are deprived of their right, as basic right, as a human right. As a human, I have the right to go to school. I have the right to just get education because I'm a human. It doesn't, we should not consider our gender. You know, when I was in Kabul, when I just saw, you know, the increasing marriage force increased a lot. And parents, because they are in this thinking that Taliban, they should not arrest their girls and they should not put them in jail, they just give them their daughters, their girls, to people or to men that they are in, for example, 50 years old, 40 years old. And they cannot decide for their daughters, they cannot decide for their girls. This is the real story. I have my friend that she was in my age, but because of this, that she was forced by their family due to the situation that it's in Afghanistan, she just married with a man that is 55 years old, that we can say it is his father, her father. And this is shows that how the situation is very bad. And what I'm saying this, the purpose that I'm sharing these all circumstances with you is this, that we should stop this. It should not be continued like this, because as a human we don't deserve this. You know, today as well I'm talking about the resilience of Afghan girls. These much hardship, these much challenges that we had, we still didn't lose our hope. we still we still say that ourselves we are going to just make our own future. We are not going to just say to Talib that that person or Talib should come and just decide for the future. Ourselves we are going to do that. We ourselves in this last situation of Kabul, that every place that you will go, you're going to see Talib. That Talib is saying that you're a girl, you should go to home. Why you're outside? And you didn't have anything to tell. They just arrested girls because of their hijab, the excuses that they had. They say that you are, for example, this hijab that you're wearing is not as much long. So they're going to arrest them and they're going to put them in jail. And their family, they couldn't find them. And because of that, most of the families in Afghanistan, they were so upset about their situation and the situation of their families. And because of that, they didn't let the girls that they should go outside. Even some of the families, they just heighten their girls. That Taliban, they should not arrest them because they are going to do anything that they want to do with these girls when they just got to the jail. And despite all these challenges that we face as a girl, despite all these circumstances that we were facing, we still share with ourselves hope. We just decided that we are going to, even though we say that, okay, just Taliban, they banned schools and the doors of schools, ourselves, we are going to open other doors. We are going to teach our mothers. We just open the doors of mosque. We speak with colleges, and we shared with them that this is the most important thing. Girls and women, they should have their own education, because without education, they cannot define their rights. The education is the key, and we just have classes for our mothers. We teach them, despite that ourselves were deprived of getting education. And we did all these things. We just shared all the stories with others. But one thing which always somehow just give me pain, that why the world is so silent when we are talking about democracy, when we are talking about the human right. We are saying that we are living in 21st century. So why it's happening? Why those people that they are saying that they are defenders of the right of human, the right of women, they are not stopping this? This has to stop, because as a human we deserve better. We need, when I'm talking about peace, the meaning of peace for me is completely different, because I just was born in the war and sleeping night with the sound of bomb, and I just raised like that. The meaning of peace for me is this, that we should have the right, anything that you can do. Everyone in this planet, they should have the right, that what they are going to want to do. No one should not be done anything by what others say. This is the important thing. Today, I am here to share with all of you that Afghan girls, despite of these challenges, they are still hopeful. They are still working hard as much better as they can. We are in this mentality that being a girl, it should be a proud, not a crime. We should change this. We should change being a crime to being a proud. And we should be the young leaders of the world. I'm thinking that when a woman be a leader of a country, when a woman just lead a country, on that country there will not be any war, because that woman know how that the woman that just born a baby, She knows all the pains that she just have it when that person just raised that baby. And I'm in this thinking, and I'm saying this, that if we have all the leaders of the world women, there will not be any wars that right now we have. For example, we have in Ukraine, for example, in Gaza, in Afghanistan, all the things. This is the thing. All women and all the people around the planet, they should give us hand to hand. We should make our own future. We should have our own dream. We should follow our dreams. Right now, I am sharing this with you as the representative of Afghan girls. I'm saying to my girls, all girls around the world, we should not let anyone that they should decide about their future. We ourselves, we should be a leader. We should be a decider, because this is about our own future, not the future of others. If a girl right now in these days should stand with us, you should be absolutely sure that in 2030 we're not going to have this much bad things that right now we are. Myself, I'm just feeling as, for example, a girl. You know, when I just decided to leave Afghanistan, what was the reason? Just because if I was in Kabul, so it was this, that I'm going to, because I had worked with many organizations and as well having the association. So as the writer and defender of the right woman, I'm going to be arrested by the Taliban and I'm going to be pulled in jail. So I decided to leave my country, to leave my family, in order to be in a safe, in order to have my own future. But you should not forget that there are millions of girls that right now they are living in Afghanistan under the rules of the Taliban. Day by day, their rules are just being a lot. You know, even you cannot breathe. For example, they're not going to give you the right to breathe. What's happening? We should stop this. This should be stopped. This is not something that a human deserves it. By all this working that we are right now doing, we have just one dream. Myself, my dream is this: everyone should be free. Everyone should have the right to just do one thing, and it doesn't matter she's a boy or she's a girl. She should have the right. By these things that today I'm sharing you, all these. So right now I just got emotional, because all these stories that I'm telling you, this is the real story of Afghanistan and what is happening in Kabul and other provinces. But I'm sharing all these things with you because we should just nurture this to the future, to the world. Our voice should be heard. This is the thing. We should have the chance to just share it with more other people. That right now you're joining us, share our voice, because it needs to be shared. And I'm saying with all of you this, as your sister, as an Afghan girl, I'm telling you, we are hopeful, we are powerful, we are not going to give up. All these challenges, we are accepting the challenges. We are not going to give up. But in this way, we all should be united with each other, especially women. We should show the world the power of women. When a woman be powerful, it shows that there is no anything else. Even I'm not, for example, see Taliban as my enemies. I just seeing them as a people who need my help, and I'm going to help them. I'm just going to teach them that a life without violence, discrimination is beautiful. A life that everyone has without gender apartheid, it's beautiful. So let's do it. Let's make it happen. Let's do something that the next generation, they should not feel this much pain that myself, I just feel it. This is the important thing. And all the people that right now, they are listening to me, you should just share this voice with everyone that you know, because we need to stop this. And in my conclusion, I'm going to tell you, we are here. Our voice is here, and we are going to work as much harder as we can. We are going to continue. We just be united together and give our hands together. Let's do it together. Let's make this planet more beautiful.
Yes, Soraya, that is exactly the idea of the center, to have all of us together and support each other. And your message, your You're so precious, and we will cherish every word you've said. And I want to move now, right, to Fatima and Mahbuba, because I want to have time not only for them, but also for discussion with the audience. We have very involved audience and so complimentary to everything you're doing. So a big hug to you.
Thank you so much. This is the reason.
Thank you. Thank you. Your spirit is sunshine. And we will all work together. We will continue. I omitted to say that Basma is a member of the ICMGLT's Yazidi working group, and we very much hope to continue with the Afghan women's working group as well. So we will see how that will work together, right? So, Rabbi, would you please share with us the school that Fatima and Mahbuba Fayaz are going to teach you about? Go ahead. webinar אפשר עכשיו. And this is as good a way of introducing Khatima and Mahbouba as any. Khatima, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you for sharing this video. Distinguished audience and everyone hearing me today. I'm Khatima Fayaz from Afghanistan. Currently, I'm living in Quetta, Pakistan, a peace activist who led a team with 6 members and a school with over 360 students. Thank you for inviting me to this critical webinar during such a challenging time. While the world celebrates the International Day of Education, let us not forget the heartbreaking reality. 120 million girls around the world are out of school. In Afghanistan, it has been nearly 4 years since the Taliban officially banned girls from accessing education beyond 6th grade. Today, I'm here to amplify the voices of Afghan girls, girls who carry strength, hope, and courage in their hearts, despite facing unimaginable limitations. Let me start by saying this. Afghan girls and women are strong. No power can silence them. We have turned our homes into schools, refusing to let the Taliban shape our future as they did to our mothers. In these homes, we have built universities, workplaces, and the spaces of learning and connection. My own father left Afghanistan to Pakistan that I can pursue my education and dreams. He understands the value of my aspirations, just as I know that countless Afghan girls dreams of a world where everyone has equal rights, a world where girls can love freely and chase their dreams. Wherever I am, I cannot forget my country. It has been 3 years since I came to Pakistan, and while I deeply appreciate the kindness and safety I have found here, being a refugee has its own challenges. In the past 2 years, the Pakistan government has decided to deport Afghan refugees, created fear for many families, including my own. Even in this uncertainty, I still feel safer here than my own country. Despite the hardships, Afghan refugees have shown resilience and determination. While there are no official schools or universities for Afghan refugees in Pakistan, we have built our own. My team and I now teach over 360 students. Our mission is simple but powerful, to empower mothers, because empowered mothers raise empowered children. In addition to teaching literacy, we engage mothers in conversations about the importance of education, and also beyond academics, we organize sports activities, recreational programs, motivational talks, and other supportive initiatives. The impact is clear. We have positively transformed 360 families. And these families now stand with us in our efforts. We know how much society benefits when women are able to make their own decision, to control their own resources, and to direct their own future. So our approach is straightforward. Each month, every one of us bring a new student at school. This way, we ensure that education becomes a shared responsibility within our community. Every woman and girl in our community, in our school, they share their talents and skills with others. Together, we teach one another what we know, preparing girls to lead society with their ideas, skills, and perspectives. However, this work is not without its challenges. In a male-dominated society, we face obstacles daily, sometimes even threats to our safety. Our vision remains clear: a world where being a girl is not a crime. The path to achieving this vision lies in education and empowerment of women and girls. When we started, even some women in our community resisted our efforts. It was difficult to help them see that freedom, education, and learning are their rights. I vividly remember how hesitant the mothers were at first. They wouldn't even allow us to take food with them as a memory. Today, these mothers are studying, participating in sports and activity, and they actively supporting their girls, their daughters. They have become our strongest allies. We have faced opponent from men and clergy in our community who have held meetings to discourage us and even tried to shut down our school for women. But my team and I made a promise. If our school is closed by men, we will divide the students among our homes and continue teaching. The courage of the mothers in our community has been a source of inspiration. I will never forget the day when some of our students boldly entered one of these meetings with great determination. They told the men, "You can no longer keep us in darkness. If you close our school, we will take to the streets and demand our rights. You cannot silence us or take away our education." These mothers, once silenced by fear, they have become teachers in their own homes and neighborhoods now. They have proven that when women unite, no force can stop them. Together, we have created a new world for ourselves, even under the oppressive rules of the Taliban. A world where women and girls empower one another through education, knowledge, and mutual support. As I conclude, I call on all women to unite and all men to be like my father and brothers, supportive of their daughters, wives, and sisters. Together we can build a world of peace, justice, equality, and beauty. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Fatima. You're not only success stories, you are walking inspirations for all of us around the world. Mahbouba, dear, please.
Okay, hello everybody. I hope you all are doing well and be fine. And thank you so much, Ms. Cecile, for dedicating this stage for me. It is a huge honor to be here with you. Yes, guys, I am Mahba Fayaz, an Afghan girl. In 2021, when Taliban took the control of Afghanistan, I was the student of computer science in Kabul University. It was early morning that I was sitting in my class, which one of my professors suddenly ran in the class, and she said that as soon as possible, get to your homes, especially girls. Maybe today is the last day that you are allowed to come at university, or even maybe today is the last day that you are allowed to get out of your homes, because Taliban took the control of Afghanistan. On those moments, this news was a kind of nightmare for me. I couldn't believe that, but that was a fact. 15th August was the last day that I could get in my university, and Taliban took the control of Afghanistan. So, as my friend Suraya told you that how hard it is to be an Afghani girl, I know many of you are striving to know us, to feel us, but please let me tell you, this is just an Afghani girl who knows how hard it is to be born in an Afghani family and live in Afghani society as a girl. Yes, 15th August was the last day that I could go in my university, see my friends, class fellows, and make memory with them. But 15th August was the day of starting a new journey for me. I started my journey in advocating for female education. That's why when my sister Fatima and I, we immigrated in Pakistan, we started creating our group of 7 members, that all our group members are women or female education advocates. Every day we are challenging. Every day we are facing the problems and working hard to make the women to believe themselves as human being, to empower them to take part in our society. In our school, in Mehri school, I teach 2 hours every day for my 40 students. If you ask me what is the most difficult part of my job, I will tell you which the most difficult part of my job is this, that I make my 40 students to believe that they are human beings. It's not their right to be limited or humiliated. It's their right to be respected and have freedom. And believe me, my students are like a bird that they were born in a cage. I have to take them out of those cages and make them to learn flying, how they should fly. Every day I teach my students that instead of forcing their daughters to get married under the age or force them to marry, I teach them to motivate their girls to go to school and pursue the way of getting education. Somehow when I see my students, they are living in different world. Sometimes I name their world by the name of innocent world of women, but sometimes I call their world the violent world of women by Taliban. Dear friends, in our school, education just does not mean that reading and writing. In our school, education means that no one should be forced to remain silent for fear of religious, political persecution, arrest, abuse, or torture. In our school, education means that everyone deserves to be respected. Everyone deserves to have freedom, and everyone must have the equal right as other human. The limitation of female education in our country has a history. I think it is enough, and we have to put an end to that. We have to stop this wrong history in my country, not just in my country, but around the world. I think that we can do it, but together. We dream with ambition, and we want to lead with conviction. More than this, it's okay, as my friend Raya told you, that how Taliban made the life hard for women and girls in Afghanistan, but we don't hate Taliban, nor do our students. I think Taliban are human beings, and we must help them to experience the respect, peace, kindness, and freedom in their life. If they experience all these beautiful things, I'm sure they won't limit anyone else from experiencing these beautiful things. My group and I, my friends, we all promised each other to work as much hard as one day a Talib takes the hand of his daughter and lead her at school. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mahbouba, and thank you for underscoring the fact that it's not about hating anyone, it's not about being negative, it's not about hating men, it's not about hating any particular political or ideological or religious group. It is about loving the possibility of opening the door to women and making sure and cherishing and working together on that. Thank you very much. That is extremely important. and completes the message of this amazing panel. We usually have a dialogue among the panel after the presentation. We have 15 minutes. So would you rather open it to the question and answers from the audience now? Or would you like to first take, let's say, 3-4 minutes to respond to each other? What do you say? You can unmute, please. The floor is everybody's. Is there anything you have learned from each other, or anything you want to emphasize, or any thought you had when you heard each other speak? After all, we are from two sections, two different countries, two different horrible experiences. If not, we will open the door. We will open the floor for the audience. What do you say?
Yes.
Go ahead, Basma.
Well, thank you so
Briefly,
much for my friends. All right. Thank you, Soraya, Hazima, Mahbouba, for the insightful things that you shared with us, for your courage, for you are such inspiring people, and you are doing such a great thing in your country and serving your people. This is the most important thing here. Yeah, I love how they are encouraged, how they are taking initiatives, and how they are supporting women. And I think this, as Hazima said, being and Soraya, being a woman is not a crime. We have to fight for our rights. We have to fight for the women rights all around the world. And I think every child, every girl in this entire world need to be supported and need to be educated. Thank you so much once again, and I cherish you all here. Thank you.
Soraya, Fatima, Mahbouba, do you want to comment? Go ahead, dear.
Yeah, and also I wanted to say it was really enjoyable and really huge honor for me to be in the same screen as panelist with Miss Basma. And you are proud for not just for women in your country, for all women around the world. I really like you. About whatever you are doing, you are proud. Thank you so much for all those challenges and all those beautiful things that you are doing for our world.
Fatima, Soraya? Don't have to. So Khaled Ayesh is saying, is thanking you, Basma, for your inspiring words. You can read it in the inspiring words, an important resource about the history of the Yazidis.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Khaled, for your kind words. It means a lot. And thank you for all my other friends. And I have seen so many comments here. I appreciate your attendance, being here and being part of this and being supportive to the education system here in the world.
And you see how we reach out around the world. Adarsh from India already volunteers to teach the Afghan girls. You see, that is the point of our center, precisely. Okay. So this is amazing. And of course, we will never hear enough from Jacqueline Murakatete, who chairs our Rwanda working group. Jacqueline, you want to take the floor for a minute? Rabbi, go ahead. Jacqueline, are you still here?
She's in here, but her microphone is muted.
Jacqueline, you need the microphone? If not,
She's saying in the
go ahead.
chat,
Yeah,
she
go
can-
ahead. Go ahead.
Jacqueline said in the chat that she cannot talk, I think. Yeah, she's unable to speak.
Oh, so we don't know, but she wrote you can read all her comments in the chat. She was a little girl during the genocide in Rwanda, and now is a mother of two, a successful lawyer, and built her own NGO to help women in Rwanda, survivors in Rwanda, and it's as dear to me as a daughter would be. And we had, actually, we had another intervention from Margaret. Margaret, are you here with us from the Netherlands? Wonderful. Margaret, would you like to add your own perspective briefly from the Netherlands, since you built a school from Yazidis? Go ahead, please.
There we go. Okay. Yeah.
Yes,
Am I on? Can you hear
yes,
me?
you are. Thank you.
Okay. All right. You need my thing on no, this is okay. Well, I founded Yazidi at School in 2013 after I really learned more about the genocide, and a documentary was made about 9 girls that were followed for a couple of years about how they were trying to pick up their lives. These were 9 young women that, of the many, many young women, Basma knows the statistics really well, that were dragged off by ISIS as young as 8 years old. And we all understand what happened to those wonderful young girls. The girls in the film had been dragged off by age of 11, 15, something like that. And they were trying to pick up their lives. And the documentary maker, Reberdowski, is a Kurdish gentleman from the Hoek who lives in the Netherlands, who came here during the Saddam Hussein era. And 5 of these girls were sponsored to come to the Netherlands during the showing of this documentary. And the first Sunday of April in 2013, I went to see the film and met the young women. And afterwards, I could talk to them with translation by the documentary maker. And I asked them, what is your greatest challenge now? They said it was their education. It was their education, which had stopped 10 years before then. No more education. And once they were freed or escaped and came into the camps, there was no education for them either. There was education for the children in the camps, and those who had all come into the camps, there was education for them from age 5 or 6 years on, but not for the women who had missed 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 8 years. There was no way to unravel that. And within 4 minutes, I knew what had to happen. It took me it didn't take me, this was pure inspiration. And one of them said, I want to become an international human rights lawyer. And because she said that, I knew that how important English is for all of them, because they are the voice of their people, these young women, and all of you young women, you are the voice of your people. And you are young and you have energy and strength, and we listen to you. We know how you suffer. You explain it all so very well. And so I knew they needed to learn English. I knew I couldn't help them with high school in Kurdish or Arabic language, but I knew they needed to learn English. And my hands are free in the Netherlands because my children, offspring are all in the United States. And I said, I will come and do that because I knew there was nobody else doing that really for them in the camps. And then I also said, I will stick with it until it can spread to the other camps as well, because everybody needs to be equally, needs to have equally the same opportunities. I am absolutely an advocate for inclusion and everybody having the same opportunities. And so after initial week and getting permission to go and permissions to live inside the camp, yeah.
Margaret, I'm so sorry to shorten
Nope,
you.
good.
I
So,
want people
right.
also.
So
First of
we
all,
are now, we are now online. We are now online with teachers from England, from South Africa, from India. We are teaching all levels of English, and we are besides English, with that comes so much more that you teach. We teach them assertiveness, things that come with them. We help them making presentations. We help them to through thought process. And one of the big things, we've started reading books, Robinson Crusoe, Jonathan Livingston Seagull, The Little Prince. We are reading starting at the lowest level. We are teaching them to read, and this is what's helping them to make big progress. And they are thrilled about being able to do that. Basically, that's...
thank you. And Margaret, I'm sure that Zirak, who left his email address, who co-chairs the our Yazidi working group, will welcome your presentation to the working group.
Okay, well, Basma has my details.
Wonderful.
She could connect.
Thank you.
Yeah, she can connect me.
So Basma, please arrange that. That's absolutely excellent. And I want to share with you, and thank you, Philippa, for announcing to all of us that Israel and Hamas signed the peace agreement, and starting January 19th, just 4 days from now. So, so this webinar brought us luck. Is there anyone else who wants to? I see Jacqueline cannot really speak right now. So this is all right. Philippa, would you like to participate vocally? Philippa, very briefly, please.
Yeah. Well, I think I would be speaking for many in saying that this was a great privilege to participate today, and I'm deeply humbled and grateful for these remarkable young women who are holding up a courageous torch of love and education and commitment to a different future for all, not just girls. I found it particularly moving to hear this aspiration to open the door of wisdom and compassion and education for Taliban soldiers. And it reminded me that we act the way we're taught, and that teaching and education does open a door to a different future, both in terms of our aspirations, but also in terms of our courage to hold out love and care for each other in the world. So I've found great hope in what's been shared today, and I'm so glad I woke up. Thank you.
You're most welcome. You're making this screen. We've had 4 continents speaking today. Do you realize that? 5 actually with me. So you reach the world, which is exactly the idea. And I would like to share with you one of the, we did have a challenge, as I mentioned earlier, that we couldn't somehow find a Farsi translator that is simultaneous translator to not double the time of the webinar. But in general, we really seek to reach not only, quote, experts, academics, etc., but everyone around the world, even if they just hold the phone and see that there is a webinar somewhere. So translation has become absolutely important to us. And I would like to announce the possibility for everyone to please contribute precisely for that. We want to build in the center a bank to enable us to pay translators for their work for any language to actually reach anyone. Because if this webinar managed to inspire so many of you and touch your hearts and your minds, just imagine if we had a Farsi translation, how many more hearts and minds? So keep it in mind, please. Well, we said we are going to complete the webinar with last words. Shall we start from the end to the beginning? Mahbouba, dear Mahbouba, what are your last words to the audience today?
Yes, I wanted to say that thank you so much especially from you, Mrs. Yale, for dedicating this chance for us to be here with our friends and guys today. And I am really happy that we still have people around ourselves that are hearing us and they are with us. And thank you so much for everything. I have a dream, and my dream is this: that everyone be in peace and everyone be respected and has the chance to get education. Thank you.
Thank you. Fatima, please. Your last word just for today. We are not finishing our interchange by any means. Go ahead, dear.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was really amazing to be here with our friends. So I just want to share my love and kindness with all of you. And just as my last word, I want to say for you that please involve your schools, universities, and companies on education, especially girls' education, that nowadays around the world we have, girls have many problems. So thank you.
Thank you, dear. Yes, Soraya. 17. My God, you're teaching the world. Go ahead.
Thank you so much for this big opportunity for us. This means a lot for us. And I think that it really needs that we should have more webinars like this, because we need that world should know about it. And today I just got more energy, more power to just continue. It was really great, and thanks from all friends that joining us for this webinar, and thanks from you, dear. You just work hard about this webinar, and we hope that we can have our own dreams, that we can follow that, and one day everyone should be happy, smile, and they should not be afraid of anything else. Just peace be with all of you, and thanks.
I forgot to mention, then when we were meeting, I had the precious honor to know these women and the precious love. We couldn't, the connection in Pakistan was so difficult to get. And we kept having Soraya, and disappeared, and yes, and disappeared. And so today it's so refreshing. But I want the audience to appreciate that they all made a special effort to make sure to be in a connection enabling environment. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
Basma, darling, your last word.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, dear Dr. Yael. The first thanks goes to you and for the ICMGLT group, and a big thanks to everyone here for listening to our stories and being supportive. And let's not forget that education enables communities to express themselves, express their needs, and education serves as a mental health and psychological support method. That helps children and young adults to build capacity and move forward. And I'm sure it also helps to prevent future genocides, as education can eventually create leaders who can lead and inspire, just like us. And I argue you all to support education initiatives, advocate for women's education, and help to ensure that every child in the world has the opportunity to learn, heal, and thrive. Thank you so much once again.
So I have a last word too today. So it's a secret. So on March 8th, which is International Women's Day, we are going to begin an international women's group. We even have the name. It's WGWW. Women's either group or gender or good or great or whatever, worldwide. So it's WWIW, Worldwide Women's Group. So I expect all of you there. So, and of course you'll hear about it. And you're as much part of the decision for that to happen as so many others from all over the world. So, and for the audience, we will have on Sunday, January 26th, the day before International Holocaust Remembrance Day, we will have a special panel with the film, The Girl from Salonika. It was a young girl, just like you, who was taken by the Nazis to Auschwitz. And we will learn from her son and her grandson the legacies on all the generations to today. So you will receive the announcement this weekend, and please join us again. And I can't tell you how much love I feel to you. A big hug. Take care. Mwah.